Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Paper Dungeon. We are all here today. It is the full cast for the first time, time in the stream, and this year it is also our first stream of the year. We are happy to be back. Happy to see you. I know that it's been a little bit, and so if we're rusty, gosh dang, get over it. I want to do some quick introductions. It's just going to be what your name is, who you're playing. I'm gonna start, just as I always do, around the circle on my screen. Drew, who are you?
Howdy, everyone. Welcome to the new year. I'm Drew. I'm playing Talith, the not human wizard, who's real mysterious boy.
Fantastic. I'm going to skip over him because, we got to save his introduction for last because he's new. So that'll be Grant.
Hello, everybody. My name is Grant, and I play the Shifter Lion Ranger, Leslie.
Fantastic. We have a gosh dang Jar Jar. Who are you?
Well, I'll be darned. I'm Jar Jar, and I play Medora, who is a funky but serious druid.
Fantastic. Hey, Gracie, in a new location.
Sup? I'm Gracie. I play Addie, the human fighter. Yeah.
Fantastic. And finally, streaming from below zero temperatures, DJ, kind of tell us who you are and tell us at least your character's name.
Hi, I'm DJ. Very, very excited to actually be streaming. I'm glad everybody's here for the first time in the new year. My character's name is Oda Amana. He's sick.
Fantastic. Yeah, we all are in a whole bunch of different situations from where we were last year, and it's already the first stream.
For the first time ever, we are international.
Woo!
Let's go! The full cast international.
We are doing some stuff, so expect things to be a little different than it was last year, just because things are always changing, ever different, and we're excited to have you along for the ride. I want to give a shout out to our Kickstarters. Y'all are fantastic. We could not be here without you. I am hard at work finishing up stuff and still being late on gosh dang sending those emails. Hopefully I get those out this week. Make sure you check your inboxes, fill out any surveys that have not been completed yet. We desperately need them to send you your stuff. Additionally, content warning. This is an adult stream for adults and adult viewers. If you're not an adult, what are you doing? We love you, and that's why we care about your health and safety. Sometimes this is an improv show, and there's some adult themes that arise, and maybe unexpected. We will try to give a warning of some sort if we know that something is coming up that may be potentially a little rough, but sometimes we don't always have that luxury. So we hope that you are mature, and we will do the same. That is all that I have. So let's just... Oh, shoot, it's not! Grant! Your special fancy fact of the week.
Oh, yeah. That's not actually why I was raising my hand. I was going to say thank you for the sub, Anchored and Ajax, but also my fancy fact. Did you know that a cloud weighs around 1 million tons?
That is a fascinating fact, Grant. I'm excited.
You can look it up.
To somehow kill your party with a cloud.
Something that's that I find really interesting about that, when I was in Pennsylvania living under a bridge, I ended up staying with a guy, shout out Mark. Mark's a G. But he told me that fun fact on one of the drives to the power plant. And I just find it really funny that you're whipping that out when I had just learned it a couple months ago from a complete stranger who's a G. We love that guy.
DJ can confirm.
I know that I said we were going to get right into it. I just want to bring out, I'm so excited for 5 years into the future when DJ has an infinite number of ways to start a sentence that include things like back when I was in Pennsylvania living under a bridge.
Back when I was in Columbia and I was off the king.
Yeah, perfect. We're gonna get into it. Drew, roll that clip. Last time on the Paper Dungeon, we only had 4 of us here. 3 of us,
Ah.
4 including me. What all went down? A lot. Previously, there was a not fully completed but could be considered attempted murder that the party committed while searching for information on how to potentially murder a different person. That different person's name is Matt Vey. And after they had all gone to sleep, they woke up the next day to find, oh no, Matt Vey has mysteriously disappeared, along with their additional party member, who is not there. That's an awfully strange coincidence. That additional party member may or may not have been played by Gracie, who's playing the character Addie. Addie was not there. They kind of went on a little bit of a sleuthing run to try to figure out what happened, and found the city is crawling with guards and the occasional Modron as well, investigating the disappearance of Caven Matvey. They went to the kind of seedy rebellion bar hidden amidst the store named the Hardened Scales, to find the guard that they had kidnapped still there and being taken care of by Captain Silvers, revealed himself to Captain Leslie. They kind of talked that out a bit, and it was revealed that they kind of want to do something about this, like kidnapping and hypnotism to make child soldiers problem, and for that they needed a ship. And so they kind of figured out a plan to head back to the floating kind of trash dump that is the Edge to recover Captain Leslie's ship, the Skirmisher. And to do that, first they needed to find Addie and then all get aboard a trash barge that would take them back to the Edge, because that is their main form of transportation at the time. The party split up, leaving Talith with the young girl and Captain Silvers, and then Captain Leslie and Medora went back to their inn, the Tail's End, to hopefully try to get a lead on where Addie is. Maybe she's there. Who knows? I would say that's where we're going to pick up, but we're actually going to go back in time a little bit to the morning of that day. Your party has woken up, left the inn, searching through the streets. A little ways down the road, in kind of a slightly more higher end district, we're going to take a little look into an inn named the Rose Quarter. On the second floor, light streaming through the window, Oda, you are awoken by the familiar sound of rain on the windowsill. Birds chirping, singing in the morning, fresh spring air billows into your room. As you wake up and go about your daily kind of tendencies, tell us who we see. Kind of describe your character to us.
As Oda gets up, the camera would see a man of a fairly large stature. He's probably about 5'10", and he carries quite a bit of weight, particularly around the stomach. As he gets dressed, he puts on many different layers of robes, stuff that will keep out this harsh weather. His legs are covered by some loose cotton trousers that are dark gray, maybe even black, depending on the lighting, that get wrapped around the calves and the feet. And then he just puts on some thin black leather sandals. He has a sash around his waist that keeps in a finely embroidered tunic and keeps that all tucked in. And that tunic is embossed with this silver filigree that decorates the front of his chest and then would go out to the shoulders, but you can't quite see that, as there is a sleeveless robe that drapes over his shoulders and drapes down his back, down to his calves. Underneath the tunic and the robe, he has another loose cotton shirt, again, kind of like gray-black, with these wraps that go down around his arms and his wrist. From the nightstand, you watch as he pulls this necklace. Is probably about 2 feet long, very similar to a rosary. It's going to have black onyx beads that he wraps around his left hand, it would be. And hanging from that, you see a black faceless bust, probably about the size of like a quarter, maybe a little bit bigger, very small. And floating around that bust are 3 sets, so 6 wings that float around that bust. You'd also see that he has a necklace. It looks to be of a cheap silver chain with several, specifically 3 glass cut stones that just hang from it. Looks like it's worth just about nothing. As the camera would pan up to look at his face, you would see a man that seems to be in his late 40s, although guessing from the wrinkles around his eyes and the way that his skin has leathered, you might even put it closer to his early 60s. He has tan skin with high cheekbones and a strong nose. He does keep a neatly trimmed beard. It's almost gone completely white, aside from the mustache and kind of as it comes down to his chin. That has remained the same brown as the rest of his disheveled hair. And you would see that he has these very tired green eyes, but as you look into them, you see that he's a man with a kind heart and many stories, one of which probably explains why he's missing half of his right ear. And then you would finally see that necklace as it's going across. Oda would then get up, finish dressing. Hanging from a hook, he has a jingasa. It's the wide-brimmed, kind of like rice farmer hat that he carries around with him. And then just so you are aware, Aaron, at the end of my long rest, I'm going to say that I am resistant to lightning damage.
Fantastic. You are on the moon of Piran, in the sector of Ouroboros, helping out an old friend of yours by the name of Kath, who is also kind of the distant owner of this inn. Cool. Kath has a wide network on Ouroboros of some occasionally questionable purposes and means, but he's a good guy. He does some very, very helpful things for the people. And you have kind of been finished with your business now, helping him out with a request of his. You bunked up here. As you wake up in the morning, as I said, you are greeted to the sound of rain from the clear sky, as you usually are. And you feel a tugging sensation deep within you that is pulling you out of the inn. You have felt this before. It is the summons of your god that there's important ritual that needs to be done. For what purpose, you have no idea, but you know that whoever has died, it is someone who is important to, for some reason, whether it be a very good person, a very bad person, or even just that it would be beneficial for you to go that way. Those are the kind of tugging sensations that your god gives you.
Yeah. I would go ahead and get up. I have just one little brown, almost like a homeless man's sack, that I just throw over my shoulder. So I put a couple of the books I would have in there, kind of tuck that away, grab it, throw it over my shoulder. And then I'll go check out of the inn and make my way towards that sensation. Absolutely.
This is early in the morning. You are, in general, a pretty early riser, very disciplined in that regard. The city has yet to fully come alive. It's always kind of bustling because it's a pretty popular tourist destination. There's a lot of people out late, but the streets are still relatively empty as the sun has not even fully crested the edge of the earth. And you are pulled towards the kind of noble district, a tourist attraction that is mainly just like, hey, come look where the rich and famous people that you'll never meet live. And you are pulled towards kind of just one of the several large gated manors. You see that the gate is still cracked open a little bit as a carriage trundles away from it. That appeared to be, it smells terrible.
Like terrible, like someone died, or terrible,
like manure and rot. Like you think that
Gotcha.
it smells kind of like fertilizer.
Gotcha. Okay. You said the gate's just slightly open?
Yeah, they just probably forgot to lock it as they were leaving.
Perfect. I'm gonna walk in.
Fantastic. Can you make a wisdom investigation check?
First roll of the campaign. I don't have. I guess it's fine. 15 wisdom investigation. You said
Yes.
30.
investigation wisdom plus 5 21.
21. Also,
That's the
I
DJ
realize
rolls.
that
That's
I
DJ's rolls
misspoke.
right there.
I've made a misspeaking. The carriage was not leaving this estate; it was entering.
Oh,
Misplace on mine.
Oh, even better. Perfect. I can
Yeah.
go talk to somebody.
That makes
Absolutely.
that makes more sense.
100%. I was like, Aaron, what did I just say? I just like blacked out for a minute there.
That was
yes,
Nora. That was Nora.
Yeah, probably. So you are getting a definite sense. It is pretty clear to you where you are supposed to go. There is a large mansion. This is a massive estate. It is acres of land. The pull that you are getting does not lead you to the mansion. It leads you towards the forests near the back of the estate.
Okay.
Far more distant.
I'm
What would you like to do?
gonna just walk like I own the place, and if someone questions me, we'll deal with that. But otherwise, I'm just gonna walk like I belong here. You know,
Fantastic.
This is
Are
the
you
perfect way
heading?
to sneak into any place?
Yeah. Are you heading? Following your gut? Are you talking, or are you heading more towards the?
Nah, we're following.
Okay. Fantastic. Your instincts lead you around the estate. There are strangely not a lot of visible guards. Like most of these places have very Metal Gear Solid type guards that like patrol set paths with flashlights. You don't see a lot of that. You see a couple of moving lights in the mansion itself. But there are not really a lot of ground patrols, which you find a little strange.
Did Eddie kill all of them?
It's hard to know.
Sorry. I don't know who Eddie is.
But your investigation leads you into a little side trail, kind of a beaten down footpath that leads deeper into the woods. It is not very well maintained. It's very much just naturally it is formed from at least it doesn't look like a lot more than one person really uses this path. Like normally it would be widened a lot more if there was like groups of people, but this is pretty much like a hunter's path almost. And eventually you get to a point in it where you're pretty deep into these woods on the estate.
Okay, I'm so sorry to interrupt you, Aaron. Josh just came in and he brought me like a fresh steaming plate of wings because he's such a homie. I'm so sorry to interrupt. But
You are totally fine. It is
amazing.
terrifyingly cold where you
I have to
are.
say, I don't think we've said we can see DJ's breath. DJ's in a van. We can see his breath. So this is very good.
100%. It gives very much the movie The Thing. Hello, Josh.
And there's Josh. Hi, Josh.
Hi. Okay, wait, did they have to give you a fork? No. Great. All right. Cool. Never mind. We are live. Bye. Thank you. I love
Bye,
you. You're
Josh.
amazing.
Shout out to Josh.
Into the woods we go.
back to the game. At some point in time in the trail, you get maybe 10 minutes down. The kind of tugging sensation stops.
Yeah.
There is not a whole lot of light here. What would you like to do?
Yeah. I apologize, DM. I just want to make sure that I understand because I was.
Yeah, you were dealing with food.
We walked around.
Yeah, you followed this footpath.
Down the path, right? And it's pretty dark, right? I can't see super well.
No.
No? Don't like that. I like being able to see. Can I do anything about that?
Yeah, the trees are thick enough that the scant amount of light this early in the morning is not really penetrating through the canopy.
Now, this is a stretch, and I understand it is a stretch, so feel free to say no. But I do happen to know Druidcraft, and I did learn Druidcraft on Magonia. Could I make any, could I use Druidcraft to make, a path of bioluminescent plants to light my way? I don't know if it'd make enough light or anything like that.
I'll tell you what. This is what we can do. You kind of cast Druidcraft, just kind of asking for light. Just some kind of light. And there aren't really any luminescent plants here, and you can't manifest something out of nothing. But there are fireflies, and specifically, even more so, a couple of fireflies begin to light the path around you. And then leaping up and shooting up from the ground, there's the occasional star skimmer that leaves a trail of light in the sky, kind of guides your path. These little bugs that just basically light themselves on fire and shoot up into the sky. You are able to see well enough. It would be considered dim light, but better than darkness.
Okay.
Would you like to could you just make a perception check for me? Kind of get a vibe of what all you know. Oh, you're a cleric. You should be fine.
Can I give myself guidance?
Sure.
Oh, really? Is that how that works?
I don't know.
Great.
It is now.
Does that give me a
That's
plus 5? How does
BGP
that
rules.
work? Yeah.
That's what we call homebrew.
Yeah, it's been a while. I don't know. I think you can.
I think
I
that's
think I
like
could do it. What
they
does
added
that
in
give? Does that give me
Baldur's Gate
advantage or a
3.
plus to my roll?
+4. Or
Yeah, it's a
1d4.
D4.
Plus
You,
1d4.
you roll a d4.
Oh yeah, it's one willing creature. I don't care. You can do it for yourself.
Like, are you willing?
13.
13.
But my passive perception happens to be 20, if that makes a difference.
No, you're good. This isn't a hard
Observing.
check for any specific reason or anything. You are kind of looking, because normally when this pulls you somewhere, this feeling has pulled you to the house of a grieving family, to a warrior who has died on the battlefield, buried beneath rubble, various places. Normally there's it's pretty easy to find a body when this sensation hits you. Examining the area around you, you don't see anything in clear view. Like, there isn't just a person who died walking down this trail or anything. But you do notice there is a mound of freshly turned earth off
That
to the
looks
side of
like
this
a
trail.
grave.
Very shallow. It's almost more of like a depression, and then dirt is just kind of pushed over top of it.
Odo will go up to it and just kind of look around. And then he'll kind of drop his sack, and he pulls out this it's a compactable shovel, so you can pull out one piece and then you attach the arm. And I'm going to gently, very gently, with very practiced hands, remove the dirt, reveal the body, and then eventually I would dig a proper grave. But we'll start with this. I need to know who this guy is.
Yeah.
And figure out what his burial practices would actually be, if he's religious or anything like that. Oh, lots of questions. I need to know what's going on.
Absolutely. You it is really easy to uncover the body. You don't even really need the shovel, just to, it is less than 2 inches deep of the earth that is covering him.
Oh, okay.
You reveal a still almost warm body, very freshly dead. He has
Like how freshly dead? Can I spare the dying this guy?
Oh no, he's it's from the past 2 hours, 2 to 3 hours, give or take.
Yeah, I can't do that.
Yeah, it's a little bit past your range. He has kind of sallow skin, almost waxy. His eyes are glazed over, still in kind of a sense of surprise. He has greasy black hair that has been slicked back at some point in time, and not exactly well kept. But you can tell that the intent that people think that it's well kept was there. He's wearing fine clothes, not exactly suited for a morning walk in the woods. And you notice the cause of death is pretty easy to tell. There's a single stab wound in his back that pierced his heart.
I'll kind of look this over, and you'll notice that Oda kind of gives like clearly this was a efficient murder. Someone knew what they were doing, and Oda almost has a little respect for it. I'm gonna go ahead and cast Gentle Repose on the body.
Fantastic.
So you'll watch Oda will clutch his holy symbol in his hand, and he'll whisper under his breath, "My tear-stained God, let this body last until I can give it a proper rest." And then he'll proceed with the rest of the actual spell. And then I'm gonna throw it over my shoulder.
Fantastic. You heave this body up. As you whisper your incantation, you feel a warmth from your holy symbol spread up your arm, and then expel out over the body as a cool breeze and the sound of gentle affirmation whispers out from you. You heave the body up over your shoulder. Where would you like to go?
Oh, I suppose I'll go back to the manor.
Okay. You walk out of the woods. It is a much harder walk. Like, this is not a fast experience for you. It's
I'm no spring
very narrow
chicken
path.
anymore.
Absolutely.
I go to do a maneuver that I've done for years, and I'm like, ugh.
Your knee, your hip gets caught, and you're like, ah.
Okay, good.
Absolutely. But you eventually make it back to the manor. It around 2 to 3 times the amount of time it took you to find him and dig him out. It is still pretty early morning. You don't think that many people have awoken. I should say, what's your passive history?
My passive history. That would be
10 plus your history.
That is how that works. History 13.
13. You know enough about Piran. Lycath has kind of filled you in on a fair amount of kind of what's been going on Ouroboros. You would be able to suss out that this is probably Caven Matvey. He is a well-known philanthropist, a kind of hero to the people, known for like rescuing orphans, very altruistic. Yeah, like you know, a pretty popular, well-loved guy. You know that this is his estate, and you've heard enough about him, some basic descriptors of him, that you can kind of suss out who this is.
Oda will talk to the body as he's dragging it or lifting it up. I'll be like, well, Mr. Is Matt Vey his full last name, or is it Matt and his last name is Vey?
No, it's Caven Matvey. Matvey is all together.
Gotcha. Well, Mr. Matvey, let's go see if we can't find your family. And I'm going to walk back to the manor.
You head back to the manor. The lights are out. The main thing that you see as you approach, there are 2 people sitting outside of the wagon that is on the grounds that entered kind of as you were getting there, and they're sitting there talking to each other. As you get close, the main thing that you hear them say is, "Man, I just still can't believe that those lights just appeared out of nowhere. That was gorgeous. Man, I hope I get to see that again one day. That was such a good time, you know?" And he goes, "Yup, there's nothing that could possibly make this night any better than seeing something that beautiful."
Excuse me, gentlemen.
What? Two kind of like almost like Play-Doh shaped heads, kind of like, you know, like very Wallace and Gromit type shaped people peer out from the vicinity. They go, "Who's that? Who's there?" Oh, goodness.
Not a young man anymore.
Well, of course, sir. They walk over and they go, they like grab what's on your shoulder and they go, "Whoa! What? So what are you doing here with a body?"
I'm pretty sure he lives here. Here. Watch his head.
Oh,
baby,
Master
like a baby.
Matvey. Oh, heavens. And the two of them kind of grab a hold of him and lower him to the ground. One of them starts just weeping. And they're like, oh, sir, how could this have happened to you? This is such a terrible thing. What have you done to Master Matvey? Is he dead? Did you kill him? I swear to God, I'll send you to hell.
Relax. Oh my gosh. You have so much energy. My name is Oda Amana. No, that won't be necessary. You can arrest me if you need. It wouldn't be the first time. This is Mr. Matvey, right?
Yeah, that's Mr. Matvey.
Okay.
The kind,
Do you
good
happen to
old
know-
sir.
Do you know, was he religious at all? Is he from here? I need to perform some burial rites.
You know, he'd
So it's
perform his
gonna be
prayers every now and again, but this guy is just in a state.
Okay. It's okay. Okay. We're gonna do a little never mind. I don't have the spell.
No, you
I
don't
was
have
gonna
calm
just
emotions
calm
on you.
emotions in.
Eh.
The chill
Can you
the
But I don't
heck
have that
out
one. I
spell.
have a lot of other
Can you
ones.
settle down. Reverse it. Can you
You're up
just
at a
make
10. I need you at a 2.
Can you just make a base?
I talk to a lot of
charisma
people
check?
that are dealing with grief. Can I
Yeah, just
help him
hit me with a charisma check. Hit me with a chill
yeah.
vibe check.
what
Hit
kind
him
of
with a
charisma check?
hey, bud.
Just straight charisma?
Hey, bro. Yeah, just straight up charisma. Unless you would like to frighten him into calming down.
What if it was like persuasion?
Sure. It's your first
Heck yeah.
episode. Why not?
16.
16. You put a calming hand on his shoulder.
Buddy.
And he just puts his hand on his head. He's like,
I'm sure you'd be very appreciative of the love you have for him. This is gonna be a rough time for you. I get that, but you're gonna be okay. All right. Let's just calm down for a second. Let's just make sure we breathe. Okay. We're gonna breathe. Yeah.
you know, it's just so hard when you think that you finally found a job that is really going to get you and your brother out of the pits, and your boss is so nice and so kind. He gives you soup on Thursdays, and then every time this is the third time my boss has been murdered. It just keeps on happening.
I might recommend a different sector. You know, like
But do you think that we can
Or-
afford to get on the dream train and get out of here? The prices on Piran are unimaginable.
out of curiosity, what are the prices on Piran to get on the Dream Train?
Not actually that bad. As long as you're on the back end of the train,
Like, would one gold coin cover him and his
Oh.
brother?
easily.
I'm gonna take his hand, and I'm just gonna be like, you have so much potential. I want you to make sure that you and your brother get out of here, okay? I'm gonna take care of this. You can stick around for the funeral, do what you need, but I think Mr. Matvey would want you to be able to get out of here, and go find a better life. And as I take my hands away, somehow there's a gold coin in his hand. He doesn't know how.
He doesn't even notice it. He closes his hand and just unconsciously puts it into his pocket. But you don't think that he even recognizes what you've done. And he says, I know, I've been trying to, me and my kid brother, I've been trying to get him out of here for a long time. And then the war started up and it was just a real bad thing. But you seemed like a real kind sir, a real kind fella. I'm sure that you didn't. Oh, me?
Yeah.
I'm Dave.
Dave? And who are you? I pointed at his brother.
That's George. I don't remember their
Dave.
names from the previous session, so that's what we're going with now.
They're Dave and George now.
Yep. Dave and George.
Would you be able to help me take care of this?
Yeah. Oh, you asked if he was a religious. Are you some kind of priest? Some kind of?
Yeah. I'm a priest of the Church of Last Words.
You see him kind of take a step back, and he's like,
Yep.
Are you
Trust
sure you
me,
didn't?
I'm-
You didn't
not
kill
here for
him.
you.
This wasn't
I
you.
think-
Are you sure? 100%.
Listen, I don't. It's a common misunderstanding. I don't do the killing, really. I just kind of make sure that
Everyone
his
says
soul
that you do
doesn't
the killing.
go.
Everyone says, which one are you? Are you the one that carves people up with a butcher's knife? Or
No,
the one with all the
that's- well,
chains?
No. I mean, I'm the Reaper.
Oh, that's
It's not too bad, right?
to be fair,
I'm not
there's
like
worse
the other
ones.
Like,
It could have been,
Oh my word, that's so funny.
I'm sure. I'm just gonna believe you. And if I die, just don't kill my kid brother. It's
I promise you, I'm not gonna kill you. I won't let anybody else kill you. It's not your time. You got plenty of life.
I'll believe you because people of the cloth can't lie. And
that's exactly right. We can't
absolutely.
lie.
So I know that
we also can't cross our fingers. It's really interesting. It's like a whole biological thing. It's crazy.
That's crazy. That's
really
wild. I'm gonna help you out for Mr. Matvey. I can tell you, I mean, he was a good guy. I mean, he'd do his prayers every once in a while. But I don't think that he was religious or any. I don't think that he like followed God or nothing. I think that he was just a good guy doing his best for the world.
You're from Ouroboros?
Yeah, born and raised.
Okay, we'll do
as far as I know.
Ouroboros burial.
And he's got an adopted son and a butler, but he doesn't have a wife or nothing.
Are they here? Do you know? Would they be here? Do we need to go talk to somebody?
Normally Mr. Matvey doesn't let us in the house. I can. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. I can go. I'll go find the butler. He's real scary. I'm sure he'll know what's going on.
Our shepherd praises you.
Ooh, spooky. And he'll head to he'll like comfort his brother, and he says, "Hey, George." I think that was Dave and George. That was our names. Hey, George, I'm gonna go get the butler real quick. This nice man who is super not at all terrifying is gonna be right out here, and you just cry it out. Mama always said crying's all right, and Mama never lied. So you
this
just
guy
right here.
Has a lot of faith in humanity.
Absolutely, he's a kind soul. And he kind of pats his brother. His brother continues to weep, and he'll head into the house and like really tentatively open the door, and you hear him go, "Mr. Butler, help!" And he'll just kind of wander into the building after a little while.
I'm going to pull out a small, very very thin pillow and rest it under Mr. Matvey's head, and just kind of like rest his arms on him. And then I'll kneel by him. I'm just going to start meditating.
100%. About 2 minutes into your meditation, you hear a scream from inside the building of someone going, "How?" And then a couple of crashes. You hear a vase fall. Some muttered like pleading, and then the door opens, and Dave comes back out and he says, "I found the butler." And behind him is a tall, lanky man. In like the full like tailed butler kind of vest and outfit, slicked back gray hair with a huge like dangling handlebar mustache.
This reminds me of the school like prime counselor, whoever it is from Spy X Family.
Yes, it's that.
You know, the one who all that elegant.
I just started the elegant.
Elegant.
Yeah. That is actually a very good representation of what this guy looks like, except a bit more like he probably has a knife.
Yeah.
And he will walk out and he will pat Dave on the shoulder and he will say, "Oh, I'm sorry, sir. It appears that you have." Well, first of all, I'm going to ignore the fact that you have trespassed on our estate because somewhat more dire circumstances have arisen.
I appreciate that.
May I ask your name, sir?
I am Oda.
Well, due to Master Matvey's death, I've been told that you are a man of the cloth.
I am.
In order to get things a bit through and through, while reporters have yet to discover anything, if you would please perform whatever rituals you need now before the hubbub of the media occurs, that would be greatly beneficial to the Matvey estate and the young lord.
I will take care of it immediately then.
Do whatever you need. Just a traditional burial would be fine. I would be happy to assist in the efforts physically, along with these two fellows who certainly will be paid for their efforts.
Would here on the estate be all right?
Yes, pretty much anywhere would be fine. Master Matvey was not terribly caught up in what would occur after his death. He was someone who lived to the fullest.
It will be done. I'll then get up, and I'll kind of very much like a dad. Like I get one knee up, and I like rest on the knee and stand up a little bit. And then I'll begin directing George and Dave to prepare a proper site. I am not currently DJ familiar with the proper Ouroboros burials, but Oda would take him through the process. So notice he takes out a notebook that has pretty much anything burial-wise traditions. He has them written down, and so he'll go through, pull out some glasses, and start looking through, making sure that we're going through the proper steps. Proper prayers are being made, whole 9 yards. And they're going to go ahead and bury the body.
Fantastic. Grant, you're raising your hand.
I have a question for the DM.
I have an
Do
answer.
Dave and George do eulogies?
Yes, absolutely.
Great.
George less so because he's still in tears. He's still sobbing. But Dave has mustered up enough strength to stand there. He helps his brother throw in a handful of dirt. And he will give his eulogy, which is pretty much what you've already heard. It's a lot of like, Mr. Matvey took me and my brother in when we were on the streets and we didn't have nothing going for us. And, you know, there was times when people would say he was a little cagey, and he just kind of rambles on and on about what he knows about Mr. Matvey. Notably, DJ, Garth Matvey, Mr. Matvey's son, is not present.
Oda just kind of is standing back while everybody's doing this, and I'm just going to look around. Could I make an observation check to see if there's anything else, such as the fact that Garth is not there, other information like that to be aware of?
Yeah, make a. I'll allow perception or investigation. Also allow insight if you would prefer.
Let's see. Let's go with insight.
Fantastic.
That'll be 21.
21. This is a very sparse funeral. There are only 4 people here, including you. There are the 2 brothers and the butler, who you've learned his name is Harold. Garth is not present. You know that Harold has informed him that his father is dead. He went into the building to kind of wake him up and tell him. Garth did not come to the funeral, and you notice that Harold is stone-faced, completely emotionless. In fact, you would even go as far to say as he is nonplussed over the death of Mr. Maffei.
He's not happy about it. Okay.
He's relatively content with this guy's death.
Oh.
Yeah.
Interesting. It's a shame I'm not a cop. Anyway.
It's not my problem.
Maybe it's a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll make sure that the rest of the funeral proceeds as needed. Once it's over, Oda's probably gonna just dip. Probably just gonna disappear. A good old Irish goodbye.
Everyone starts to kind of head their own ways at the end of the ceremony. At some point in time, you do see, as you are leaving, along with the brothers are kind of picking up their stuff and heading out. You do see Garth makes an appearance, kind of a mid-20s, like early college age boy, who kind of talks.
Stoked to get dad's inheritance.
Would you like to make an insight check?
Yeah, absolutely. What's Garth about? Why is he not here?
Yeah.
I love being good at insight. That's a 19.
With a 19, Judging from the conversation that Harold and Garth have, you aren't able to hear it, but looking at...
And read lips.
Oh, shoot. Yeah, you can
I
read
have the
lips.
observant feat. Yeah.
You absolutely are kind of able to get a sense of what happens. Harold is... He has his hand on Garth's shoulder, so you can't see what he is saying, but you are able to get kind of what Garth talks about.
Totally.
You notice that the hand on the shoulder is not exactly comforting. It's more of like reassuring that, like, it isn't like a fatherly, like, it's going to be okay type of hand.
Yeah.
It's more of a like, it is finally over. Is the impression you get from this hand on the shoulder. What you hear from Garth is what we're able to read from his lips before you get out the gate is, at least someone got him before he could get any more.
Oda's gonna tuck that in the back of his brain. Cool. Yeah, Oda just kind of like, he notices it, he reads the lips, and you watch him go like,
Oh.
Well,
ain't that something?
ain't that something? No, I'll go over to Garth.
Oh shoot! You double back. You got me.
Yeah.
You head back towards the two.
Yeah, like it's one of those things where I'm walking away from them, and I like look over, see what he says, and I do a 180 where I just go like,
yeah, you
never mind, let's go
you
talk.
take like 2 more steps, and you're like, turn around. You approach the two. Harold, you notice Harold knows that you're approaching, even though he can't see you. Harold seems like he has seen his fair share of battle. Harold is a little scary for you.
I like Harold.
Garth locks eyes with you, and kind of like nods to Harold as he turns to faces you as well. And Harold says, "Is there anything that I could do for you? You've already performed your duties. Oh, we haven't paid you, of course. Payment for services rendered? Oh,
there's no need for payment. Honestly, I don't know why I felt I should come over here. Typically, I am much more professional than this, so I do apologize for this personal interruption. I know this could be a tender moment, but I just wanted to offer some encouragement and inform you that if you do need anything, you can always call on the Reaper. So, anyway.
You see Harold's eyes narrow a little bit when you say the Reaper.
And don't fear the Reaper.
The seasons don't fear the Reaper.
Been waiting for that one.
But Garth will speak up and say, thank you for what you've done today. A great service has been rendered. And I'm sure that in what you've done, he's gotten what he deserved. So thank you.
I'll nod and then take a step just to speak a little under my breath. I don't care if Harold hears, but
Yeah.
I'll just I'll mention, just because it was the right thing to do doesn't mean that he deserved it. And then I'm going to go ahead and walk away.
Garth looks a little intimidated. I'm not gonna lie.
I was trying to be encouraging, being like, yeah, I buried him, but it doesn't mean he deserved a proper burial. Dang it. Messed it up.
I thought he meant
that's
the
what you
killing.
meant. Oh, okay.
I love the
like,
fact that this came off so wrong. This is so Oda.
I literally
What do you
thought.
mean?
Garth is not intimidated by anything that you've said. He's just not used to people like
Not caring
leaning
who
and
he is.
whispering to him. Garth gives off a really weird vibe of someone who has been much older than their actual age for a very long time. And so having someone actually speak to him normally, it seems like a weird thing for him.
Dang it! I want to like get this kid flowers or something.
So,
Like
so
this is so sad.
he's a little weirded out. And also Harold, you do notice, did like kind of put his hand at a very defensive position as you leaned in.
Yeah, that's
Harold seems incredibly protective of Garth. Like you were getting like hair standing up on the back of the neck when you got a little too close when you leaned in.
I respect it from one dad to another. You know,
absolutely.
I get it.
You once again head down the pathway. The tugging sensation in your gut done. Your service aptly rendered. And you are kind of warmed at the presence of someone next to you, very familiar. There's a sound of laughter on the wind. Okay, that was spooky. Don't do that again. Stop.
Okay.
But you head out the gate. It is much later in the day. The burial and everything took a while. The street is starting to pick up quite a bit. It is to the point that it is like actually approaching like close to like mid-morning.
Sounds like it's time for coffee. It's lunchtime.
Absolutely. At some point in time, the guards have been called to the Matvey place. So you actually managed to slip out the gate just as they are kind of rushing in.
Perfect. I hate the press.
Really, really quietly, you sneak by them. Most disconcertingly, you also see kind of rising above the crowd, there is a Modron that is walking towards the Matvey estate as well. As you kind of get into the thick of it, you get your coffee, you settle down. As you're sitting there drinking, kind of taking your time, the streets are getting thick with people rushing to the scene of the Matvey estate. Word has gotten out that Matvey is missing. Apparently, they did not release the fact that he has already died.
Already died, been buried,
died, buried, had a whole funeral. Yeah, no, they're
keeping the news. Come on,
tight lid on it. But people know that something is wrong. Soldiers are beginning to walk the streets pretty heavily. It's getting a little tense as we approach kind of more afternoon times.
Okay.
You get
definitely go ahead.
Sorry, you get a feeling. Not exactly the same tug that you felt this morning when someone has died. But you know, you aren't quite sure, you aren't able to quite put your finger on what exactly it is until you realize that that constant presence that is around you, like Adeline's presence, is normally focused on you. But her gaze has shifted to look elsewhere.
The eye.
I'll try to see if I can figure out where she's looking. Sorry, what was that, Drew?
I was making a Lord of the Rings reference.
Sorry. Nothing to see here. Move along.
But I'll try and see if I can figure out where she's looking. Just kind of mutter under my breath. What do you see, my friend?
You kind of pick your head up and look around. As you do, we're going to cut away. Medora and Leslie, you are currently on your way back to your inn on the search for Addie to kind of pick up your stuff, get everything ready to move. The streets are bustling. You've just dodged a police officer, a guard, who's currently probably still rambling about his experience in school and how much he loves lifting and his previous mentor and everything like that. Medora, as you are running along, you pretty much approach the entrance of the Tale's End. where you feel the presence of a very powerful spirit.
Oh.
Could you make tell me just your passive perception
Let's see.
as DJ folds himself into his sleeping bag.
I'm trying to remember my passive perception. My
And that's
handwriting is
10
so
plus your
bad.
perception
10
modifier.
plus your perception modifier. Yep.
It's a
Grant
12.
is on it.
I
had it,
remember.
It was like it was written, but my handwriting's so bad because I had to erase
Dog, I
everything.
feel that.
But yes, it's a 12.
Fantastic. You kind of look out amongst the crowd, searching for where this presence is. It is not a vengeful spirit of any kind. Like normally a spirit of this strength is held around by anger, or some form of binding like contract that locks them in place and tends to make them pretty upset. But this does not feel that way. It feels almost lighthearted, very calming. It's a joyous presence, which strikes you as strange. And as you look out around the crowd, a breeze hits you that smells like spring. And you lock eyes with a man sitting at a table on an outside, kind of an outside seating of a cafe. And for a moment, you see standing at his shoulder is a young woman, maybe no more than 19, in like a spring dress, wind blowing around her, that you know is a spirit. And you lock eyes with the deep green of this man sitting at the table as the two of you see each other.
Like,
yeah,
drinking and coughing. He's like,
I'm over here like this. I'm like,
and the woman at the table actually like waves and beckons at you before she dances backwards and then fades into the crowd.
Now, Medora, let's not assume that Addie had something to do with all that. I think we maybe just start with some leading question.
I need a second.
Are you all right?
Did that
You look like you just
guard
saw a
like
ghost.
accidentally gave me like some really weird pre-workout? Like
Let's
I
take
go
a
over
seat or
to Medora.
something.
Yeah,
I'm
you
seeing-
can head towards them.
because I know for clarification, like I'm probably still staring at
Oh yeah,
this man
He's
just
locking
like,
eyes. He gets up and starts to walk towards you.
oh crap! Don't look.
What? Do you know him? Is that next or
don't know.
something? Here, let's get over here. Let's hide or something.
God,
Excuse me, my child.
Hi. My name's Leslie. This is my friend.
Hello, Leslie. I'm Oda. Did you need something? I noticed that we you were looking at me and do you need any services performed? Do you have any questions, my child?
can I do a deception check to just try and hide the current stance of my mental? Of seeing
Absolutely.
the crazy. Okay,
This will be a contested insight versus deception to kind of get a read on each other.
not insight. He's so good at insight. What's a crap?
You're
That would be
also
a
wisdom
25.
So
but
25
she's-
insight. You're looking to beat a 25 with your deception.
It's impossible to be DJ.
It's true.
That one.
Okay.
Oh,
This-
So then I feel that this is gonna play out being like my eyes are wide open. I'm like, yeah. Hi.
I like to think you're like hiding behind Leslie, and I just kind of like look around him, like
you just like
I
push him
step
to the
out.
side.
Yeah, I'm gonna step out. I look behind his shoulder like ever so often, just like, yeah, it's going good.
look, are you gonna cause a problem here or something? Do I need to be worried about this?
no. I'm so sorry. No, no,
I've never
I'm sorry,
seen
I thought-
Medora do that.
Unfortunately, I have that effect on people. I apologize.
Do you have this? Do you have this effect on everybody? What effect? Sorry. I mean,
What effect? Blinking. Like,
I'm just like, sorry.
No.
Let's just say you got something you got some pep in your step. You got a vibe about you. You got some
I've been doing
gree
my
on you
part.
that feels a little off.
Okay. Okay, I'm gonna square with you. Are you from DeVoe?
Heard about it. I've heard about it. I've never been there all my life, but I've heard
Oh,
about
not
it.
DeVoe. I'm sorry. What's the what's the
Drumure?
one I'm thinking of? Drumure. Thank you. Are you from Drumure?
I'm gonna be up front. I don't have my sheet up with me because I
Yes,
was not
you
prepared
are.
for that question. Thank you, dear.
Yes. Yes, that
I'm
is
sorry.
your
All of us
home-
were-
home
Look,
Look, there's like 3 different places in my story.
Remember where the heck we are?
Dear. Why are you asking?
Well,
I'm like staring at them. Just like,
I know I'm a little behind the time, so I don't want to assume, but I was getting the impression that you might be I don't know if there's a proper word for it nowadays. I don't want to offend anybody, but like are you a member of one of the covens out there? I'm sorry if that's not the right way to word that. I'm not trying to offend you or anything. I'm a supporter. I'm an ally,
You're an
but-
ally of the covens. Strong. This is
Listen.
too real.
listen here, old man. I just met you 5 minutes ago.
That's
And you
so fair,
asking some
honestly.
information that needs to be shared over at least some alcohol.
I mean,
Well, should we get around to
like-
drinks then?
I say so because after the crap that I just listened to and saw, I need something strong.
it's 11 in the morning. Are you sure? Are we day drinking?
It's
We've seen a
5
lot
o'clock
today.
somewhere. It's
Hey, Leslie, what's your passive perception?
Oh, let's see. Yeah, that's
no.
10 plus my perception modifier, which is a 14.
A 14. You, as you have kind of stepped off to the side as these two are talking, you do hear some rustling, kind of like behind one of the dumpsters next to you, as you have kind of stepped into this little alley off to the side.
I would like to look behind the dumpster, DM, and observe the rustling sound.
Yeah, you kind of look behind the dumpster, beneath like a very makeshift pile of like cardboard and trash bags. You
Oh,
just see
God.
2 like dreary bloodshot eyes staring up as you have awoken what appears to be Addie, who has hidden herself behind the dumpster.
Whoa. Addie, is that you, or is everything all right? Are you hiding? What's going on?
No, I'm not hiding. I just had too much to drink and fell over and fell asleep
Oh, behind the dumpster?
behind the dumpster.
All night?
Yep.
I'm
All
gonna go
night.
ahead and
Right,
go
well-
over and give her a good cure wounds.
Yeah.
Whoa, buddy,
feels better.
where do you think you're going? And I stop him with my arm.
Addie, are you okay?
I'm
What
fine.
I just like nudge her toe with mine and cast it.
Look, Medora seems to have some strange feelings about you, and I've noticed that Medora has a pretty good understanding of these sorts of things when it comes to vibes and whatnot. So
Leslie, that's the
I
nicest
apologize.
thing you said about me.
You're welcome. And
Wow.
you know, I feel that way, and so because of that, I'm sorry, I don't fully trust you. If Medora doesn't seem to fully trust you, it's not you, it's us.
Well, it's okay. It actually is me. I am the problem. I do
Sorry,
get that.
who are you?
Oh,
That's what
Oh,
we've been
my
trying to
God.
ask.
I did I not introduce? I am Oda Amana.
No, you just got
I'm so
that
sorry.
weird vibe. I'm trying to ask about that weird vibe. I don't.
You're who?
Weird vibe. Okay, I get it. I am a cleric of the Church of
keep
Last
doing
Words.
this. I'm like,
A cleric of the House of Last Words,
Yes, the Church of Last Words.
Church of Last Words.
I hate saying it like this because it seems so much worse than it is. But I serve the god of death.
I need a drink.
all right, now
Right.
back up.
You're
Back up real quick.
That means you're
And-
a death priest, right?
a grave priest, please, is how I prefer to talk about it. I more take care of the soul after it's dead. I don't really cause the death anymore.
Well, you already
I-
caused a scene because there's been talk around everywhere about just like the death person just walking around. It's like, oh, they're here.
The whole
Was it-
town
was it
is up in
people, or were
sorts
they
about
talking about-
this.
What are the other ones?
They're
talking about all sorts of them.
Yeah, they didn't know which specific ones.
Addie, you've heard him, right?
Ones.
Well, Addie's been
Yeah.
asleep. Addie, let's
doesn't
get you a
look like
drink.
she
Let's
has
get you some
yeah.
water.
Let her go inside.
Water.
I'll help
I agree.
Addie up.
Help Addie. I need
fine,
to
I'm
talk with
fine.
this man. I need to
You're
talk
gonna
with
look
this
at
man.
Addie and you're gonna see she has no actual physical wounds on her.
Yeah.
She is
Oh.
completely fine.
Spell slot gone.
All right, let's
I would've
all
given you
take a
lesser
seat,
restoration, but I don't
calm
have it.
down. I'm sure there's an explanation for everything. Don't think we noticed about what happened at the Mac Vaves. We're gonna ask about that. Let's all get some drinks. And I'm not freaking out,
I'm not freaking out. You seem like you're freaking out.
Let's
but
all,
I could use a drink, is what I'm saying.
let's just
Sounds
say
like
the
you're
energy's
freaking out.
quite high. Let's
Not
just
for me.
find a dark corner inside.
Yeah.
So the
today,
death priest
we're
coming
gonna-
with us.
You know what? I'm pointing at I'm gonna call him Oda because yeah.
Pointing
You-
at the priest.
you, Mr. Demon Death Priest.
Wow.
Wait, I need to say that differently because I'm assuming I'm whispering.
Yeah, that
it
seemed a
because I know
little
that it's
harsh.
like Demon
Wow.
Death Priest. You gonna sit near me because
Okay.
I need to figure you out. Now I don't want to put these people that I've known for a little bit of time, but enough near you because I've heard
I do
about
not
some
want to
things
make-
about.
I don't have to join you all. I don't want to make
Oh,
anybody.
you joining
uncomfortable.
now?
no.
You done. No. You done brought yourself into this situation. So you are going to
You
come
were
in.
looking at me. I was just
You
trying to be nice.
you
Okay.
are
all right.
going to come in and sit down.
Yes,
Because we
ma'am.
got some questions. We got some questions that
Wait,
you
wait,
were the
hold
only
on.
person that will have.
Hold on one moment. I hold a finger up to Oda, and I just kind of turn and like huddle a little bit with Medora and Addie. We're just like kind of turn our
I
backs.
politely take a step back.
Yeah.
I would like to also point out,
Andy.
I definitely make sure that I can see Bear's lips.
Yes.
All right. You don't think that old crazy time man was thinking about maybe I'm just thinking, hear me out. It's not every day you run into a death priest. And here we are. And you said maybe we'd be running into somebody that's maybe important. I don't want to think that there's any credence to that time wizard's words because of what he just didn't seem trustworthy.
Mm.
But maybe it's worth us asking him a few questions at least. We don't have to be his friend, but we can at least treat him kindly to maybe learn a thing or two, if you catch my drift.
You know what? I'll be nice. I'll be nice. I'll let up a little bit because he's the only thing that fits the description of the rumors that are going around of what happened at the Matt Bay place.
Right, and maybe he did it. What do you think about that, Addie? I raise my
look
eyebrow.
at Addie.
I just raise my eyebrow to see how she responds.
I'm not gonna be nice, if that's what you're asking.
All right, and that's fine. But if you have any questions to ask him, I might recommend asking them nicely. He is a death priest, after all.
No, I don't think so. I think I'm good.
Okay,
Whatever.
suit yourself.
What bartender is currently working?
Oh, well, you can find either the nameless one or the person who owns the bar. It's up to you.
I'll go for the person who owns the bar.
That would be Ceresia Burnwillow. Thanks, Aaron's previous notes.
Ooh.
Yes, Ceresia Burnwillow, who has kind of hired you
Yes.
to just, whenever there's a punk around, you are given full right to just kind of bodyguard him out of the place, be a little bit of bouncer action. It is approaching midday pretty clearly, maybe even towards the afternoon as you all head into the tail's end. Stressia is behind the bar and sees you all enter and smile and nod towards you. Notices that you're with a new friend, clocks that, looks at Addie's eyes, and kind of gives a like.
Great.
Yeah.
There's a lot of silent communication that goes on. You guys find a column of darkness to sit in.
Mark that off the bingo sheet.
Right up the bingo.
Column of darkness.
The tavern is not very full because everyone's kind of trying to figure out about the hubbub and what all the whole deal is at the Matvey estate and everything. There are a couple people sitting around, kind of just the old regulars that are just like, I've been eating here at noon every single day for the past 50 years. Not about to stop now. Ceresia will come over and address three of you and will say, hey there, guys. Nice to see you again. Is there anything I can get for you today? And
I'm thinking
she will slide a menu to you three. There is a scrap of paper hidden underneath the menu that goes to Adeline, or Addie, I should say. And it says, if you need to punch this guy, you're free to do so. Use the red pen if you're in trouble. Use the blue if you're chill. And then there's a pen.
Wink to her.
oh
she nods.
my god.
Oh
That was
my
a
god.
great wink, Gracie. Like, good job.
Like,
that was
wow.
smooth. Oh my
Practiced.
gosh.
She's
Like, my
risen
heart
up
skipped a beat there.
the bartender.
I'll hover pat Oda because Leslie does feel a little nervous about touching a death priest. He doesn't quite know what
I'm
happened.
staring at him like this. I'm like,
He hover pats Oda and just says, and this is Oda, our new friend. I'll be covering his tab today.
Oh, you don't have to do that. That's very kind of you, but
I'm happy to.
I'm really okay. Honestly, I'd love to buy you all drinks if that's all right.
All right. If sure.
So just, I mean, I suppose I should ask that. I mean, do you have a preference to drink? It is a little early in the day.
I would love some green tea if you have it.
Yeah, I'm sure I can whip up tea for the robed gentleman, and then
Maybe
for the rest of
A
you,
little bit of sugar if you can.
by all means, sweetheart.
Thank you.
I'll take a green tea too, I guess. I'll also
You
take.
have
Can I take?
alcohol? It's okay.
No, I'll take some green tea and with 2 sugars. Actually, 3, please.
Okay.
And
round
maybe a
sugar.
shot of. Could I also add a shot of tequila?
Yeah. For
Thank you.
sure, an Irish green tea.
Green tea shot. Woo!
And then and for you too, is there anything specific I can get you? And she looks at Addie specifically, like a baseball bat or
Like a knife.
that's what the look is
Hey.
saying.
Have your new cast iron skillets come in yet?
Yes, actually. They just arrived this morning, special delivery. Would you like an omelet? Maybe
I would.
looking to scramble it yourself?
Love. You know what? Do you have like, the skillet hash breakfast that you made me the other day? The one with chorizo, like the spicy.
Oh,
sausage.
absolutely. And I'm sure it'll taste even better in the
Yeah.
pan.
Oh yeah. Could I get that sizzling hot, please?
Absolutely. She looks
And
at
a
you and she says, "It does look like you had a bit of a late night last night. I noticed you didn't you weren't back. I'm sure it'll wake you right up. It's a great a great after morning
Thank you.
meal
Yeah.
for you.
That would be wonderful.
And you, sweetheart, is there anything I can do for you?
I'll just do a orange blossom tea. Thanks.
Excellent. So 3 teas, one of them orange, 2 of them green, a total of 5 sugars between 2 of them, a shot of tequila, a bold choice, and I'll get that chorizo hash. And she'll head towards the back and start cooking. You see every once in a while she like peers out from around the like corner of the kitchen, just kind of keeping an eye on you, Oda. But she will leave you to it until she gets your drinks.
So, what brings you to here exactly? I asked Oda.
Yeah. I just want to make sure. I think I caught everybody's name. You're Leslie, and you mentioned your friend here in the alleyway. I'm sorry, sweetheart. Not sweetheart. I don't know where that came from. I'm so sorry.
It was the
Addie?
waitress.
The waitress threw me off. I'm so sorry. You're Addie, is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And I'm so sorry. I don't think I caught your name.
I ain't giving you my name yet until you answer my questions.
Okay. That's fair, I guess. You want did you want to start with his question, or did you have other
His question
questions?
first, because it was the first question that I was going to ask. Thank you, Leslie. And I do like a
Of
nice
course.
little gentle
Of
pat
course.
to let him know that I'm okay.
Of
But
course, Medora.
This is interrogation mode. I'm like,
Of course, is what I meant to say.
Real quick, for the record, just in case anyone in the audience was curious or worried, at this point, Melody, who was sticking with Leslie and Medora, will land on Addie's shoulder and kind of and just like nuzzle up next to her.
Yes.
Yo, the amount of like true vibes you have going on right now is crazy between the four of you guys. Holy crap. This is
The
intimidating.
four of us. What do you mean?
The bird.
Oda
One,
doesn't say
two,
that. That's
three.
PJ commenting on everybody else.
Yeah. This is like getting interrogated by the mob.
It kind of feels that way. I'm not gonna lie.
What exactly did you see that night? The night of January 14th.
It's January 13th.
I know. I was trying to make a joke, and then I realized I said a day one away
It
from
is
where we are
Also-
now.
14 for me.
Also,
the 14th.
It's the 14th for
also
Gracie.
in
that's
theory,
true.
it would have been last night, so it would have been the 12th
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah, it would have been actually, it would have been the 13th for Gracie. Anyways.
Yeah.
I was here to help a friend of mine. His name is Lycath. He runs a number of different businesses around here, and but when I arose this morning, I felt the call towards death for a Mr. Matt Vey.
Oh.
So I arrived at the estate, took care of the body, made sure that the rituals were performed, and then was grabbing a little bit of coffee and some pastries when I made eye contact with you, who I'm going to pretend like I don't know your name now. And I just wanted to come approach you and ask if you had any questions. I was not trying to, make anybody uncomfortable. But I don't meet a lot of people, honestly, especially ones that are connected to other things, which it seems like that's a sensitive subject. I'm not going to bring that up again. I don't know anything. We don't,
You know what?
I know nothing. They know nothing. I really, like I said, ally,
You know what? I
mhm.
came up with rash judgment.
Well, thank you.
You seem like a nice man. I will give you a second chance to. That's my fault. So with this help, and where you've said you're a man of the cloth, is there like more than one of you here? Is it just you?
Well, I honestly, between you and me, I wish there was a little more structure to the organization, Like, I'd love to know, like, who's where and what they're doing, but we're all pretty independent. We're kind of like independent contractors, really, So there may be, honestly, but I don't have a clock on it. I don't know. Have I heard of some of my brethren being around here? Or is it just kind of the rumors?
You don't hear about them very often. It is very rare for you guys to cross paths. It's almost as though there is a cosmic energy that kind of keeps you guys going in different directions. I mean, you assume that all of them kind of get pulled in directions, and the god of death would never send two of you to the same place because you're spread
Listen,
thin
man, a
enough
lot of
as you
people
are.
die. There's not a lot of us.
Mm-hmm.
Keep it spread.
A lot of work to do.
And what exactly did you mean by take care of the body? You had this inkling, you followed it, and then you took care of Matt Vey?
Which person
Is that
was?
what you're saying?
No, definitely not. That's a big very common misconception. No, I buried the body. I performed an Ouroboros ritual to it, but I was led there by the shepherd, and found the body already, to put it in your words, taken care of.
Oh. Leslie just kind of just like gently looks over at Addie. And then turns slowly back to Oda. I see. What kind of discomfort do you feel around this gentleman, friend, as I look towards Medora? If he's not the one doing it.
I kind of like lean in. Well, okay.
Oda's
trying to think,
definitely
can
looking a
Oda
little
see her?
uncomfortable.
It's like I'm trying to
Can
think
Oda
of
see
like
her
the
lips?
seating situation because I'm trying to think. Because
I'd like to
We
believe
can
that
lean
you
in
put-
behind Oda.
Yeah, this is what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that you have Oda is on an end of a booth. Imagine a U. Oda is on one end of the U. You have Addie on the other end of the U, and then you have Medora, and then Leslie.
oh,
I
got
like
it. So
it.
it's almost like an interview situation. Got it.
Yeah.
So I'll put like a hand up against my mouth.
So Addie and I can.
Yeah.
But the thing is, my hands
Oda
up,
looks away.
but I'm talking loud enough to where people at the table
yes,
can still hear
absolutely
it.
still here.
That's so good.
Your
I have a
stage
20 pass
whispering.
perception.
Yeah. He's got good ears. Did not lose it in his old age.
But while it's
dude.
happening, I'm just like,
Use your
saw-
protection.
I saw someone that's on him. It seemed too positive, too joyous.
What does that
and
mean?
It's odd. I can't explain it either. It's just that, and I can't pinpoint it. I can't.
Oh, okay.
It's too. There's a spirit on him, and it's way too nice.
Could it be the shepherd?
So I'm not sure. I've
Guys,
never
this guy is
dealt with the
too
shepherd
clean.
before. He's too nice.
That's suspicious.
But no, I've never met the shepherd. So wait, DM, have I ever met the shepherd?
No.
Got
Here's the thing.
You don't meet the shepherd unless you're dead.
You know very
No, I'm trying to make sure.
Actually, in comparison to most people, you know of the shepherd very well. The god of death is it has been explained and told to you. You know that he is real. Your mother kind of performs a rival business structure to the god of death. They aren't exactly enemies, but it's like Samsung and Apple.
competition.
Yeah, like it's in order to prevent a monopoly.
Gotcha.
Whereas the shepherd tends to send spirits on their way. Your mother focuses on the unresolved requests of languishing spirits, the upset undead. As this conversation is happening, I will, just as a brief little thing, the Ceresia will return to the table with your foods. A sizzling. She actually brings 2 pans with her. One of them still has your food on it. The other one is fresh, just for you to look at and examine the
are a
quality of this
gem.
really fine frying
This
pan.
It's
It's
so nice.
it is sturdy, and she's like,
Yes.
honey, you can hold on to that for as long as you want. Take a look at it, really examine it, get a feel for it.
I will.
Whatever.
I've been looking at picking up cooking.
Oh,
I do
absolutely.
really like this. This is a great one. I'll look for this at the store. Thank
Honey,
you.
With your strength, I'm sure that you can pick up just about any skill that you're looking to do, and I trust you fully with it. Here's the drinks. She serves Oda's last.
Hunter sits back in his seat a little bit, like as far back into the booth as he can.
Yeah, I mean, he just kind of huddles. You do notice she only brings you out one cube of sugar, Oda.
Perfect. That's what I wanted.
And she brings out the 3 and the shot of tequila and the various teas and all that. And as she leaves, Addie, you do hear a second set of footsteps right next to you. They like briefly patter to a stop. But when you look to see someone there isn't anyone.
Can I make a perception check?
Absolutely.
I'm gonna roll this on the floor.
Thank
so
you,
I don't
ma'am.
actually have a lot of table space.
Of course.
Is Crazy rolling on the floor? Is that what you just said?
I don't have any table
Nice.
space.
Oh no.
Probably not good enough. Where's my perception?
What's the floor roll? What does the floor give us this day?
It is an 11.
The floor giveth, the floor taketh. You do a quick like swipe where you heard the footsteps. With that, you do notice that for a brief moment, the steam coming off of this this chorizo hash moves in a strange direction, as though there's a wind blowing that you can't feel. But there is not anyone standing where you heard those footsteps.
Ooh, creepy.
Listen, Oda. Question.
Yes.
There are countless people who die every day.
Yeah.
Why the hell
Mhm.
is Matt Vase more important than theirs?
You know, that's a really good question. You know, questions are really good. It's always good to question. I'm challenging. So don't stop doing it. As for why it's more important than the others, it's not. Everybody is pretty equal. It tends to be how do I explain this? It's mostly random where we end up going. You know, we try and take care of as many souls as possible. We really want to make sure that they're staying where they belong. They're not getting sold or pawned off to anything that it shouldn't be. But there are times where we are specifically guided to someone important. And that is beyond my, I don't want to say my jurisdiction, but beyond my reckoning. That is where my faith in he who hears all pain lies.
Superman. I mean, Shepherd. Sorry, just a bit of friendly banter. I know it's the Shepherd.
You're
Yes,
saying
Shepherd.
Matt Bay was more important. Why? Because he had
I
money,
don't
power?
I don't think he's more. No, none of
Because
that.
it's sounding like you're saying he's more important.
No, not at all. It just happened to be the one that I was called to.
But yeah, I mean, that intrinsically in itself is pretty special, right? The Shepherd saying, hey, with that one. Why do you think the Shepherd gave you the intuition? Why do you think? That's what I'm curious about.
Well, part of it that plays into it is the desired for the soul afterwards by third parties. Matt Fay was a powerful charisma man who I don't honestly know much about him. I know he was a philanthropist, but I'm questioning some things based off of other things that I saw this morning. Really, I'm trying to process it all right now, if I'm being honest.
Rewind. What did you see?
I mean, much no offense, but like clientele discretion, you know, not really
He's dead.
where I'm gonna put. What was that?
Can
Sorry.
I do an intimidation roll? But I want to ask Addie if you want to help me intimidate this man with the fresh skillet in your
Intimidate
hand.
me.
I'd love to.
Nice. All right. Let me.
I will state, regardless of the amount of your intimidation check, I cannot force DJ to make any decisions. But
you know,
at least you will very clearly get a vibe of impending
Send
doom.
that vibe across.
Get the vibe.
If you don't tell us what we want to hear, I will punch you and I will hit you with this frying pan.
Yeah. The hot frying pan, I will point out too.
Yeah. Oh, she's dual
Not just a
wielding.
bludgeoning. I should have picked fire damage instead of lightning.
I got a 18.
Skillet damage.
18. The vibe coming off of Medora, I can tell you right now, you have a very high insight. You pick up on the emotions of others easily. Matvey is not well loved in this group.
Totally.
Yeah, you don't need my help to tell you that much. Very clearly, they are unhappy with the decisions that have been made today. And you fear the potential outcome of your continued survival, judging from their relatively murderous auras.
So
Gotcha.
with that, I go, listen. With the stuff that we know about this man, he doesn't deserve to be concealed like that. He doesn't deserve that kind of privacy in his life anymore. So, what I suggest, and I look over at Addie, give the side, have that skillet ready. I don't know you that well, but I think this is a special case of giving that information.
Yes, Grant. I've seen you patiently raising your hand.
I know I'm fighting within myself. I'll just describe Leslie's demeanor here. Oda, you get the sense that Leslie is maybe starting to feel a little bit bad for you right now. And starting to maybe think you're not quite as bad as we maybe thought. Because could you just describe, please, for me, Oda? Could you do me a favor and just, as in DJ, I'm asking DJ too, describe to me what his sort of aura is as he just takes a sip of tea. I just need to see this in my mind's eye to understand what we're talking at real quick.
Can you demonstrate?
Yeah, that'd be great. Okay, so sitting very proper, very,
and then I'll set the tea down.
very calm.
You can get from the vibes that Oda has been threatened a lot, many times before in his life. And as you look into his eyes, he'll kind of look over at you as well, Leslie, kind of nod an appreciative look at your sympathy. But you can tell this man has seen a lot and been through a lot. So the threat in and of itself is not particularly new to him. He still clocks it. It's dangerous. He understands that. But it's kind of like a calm under pressure type situation. While still trying to it's like when you have a lion across from you and you're like, cool, that lion's not currently gonna rip my throat out, but it's still a freaking lion, you know?
But if dangerous, why friend-shaped?
Exactly.
Dangerous, my friendship.
Yeah, Leslie just kind of looks curious with his eyebrows and he says, yeah, what they said.
I haven't said anything.
What
I have
she said.
no need.
Points up Medora.
I have no need to respect Mr. Matvey's wishes in death or anything like that.
In death?
What I'm trying to protect is Gar. Or Garth. I think was his name actually. Garth.
That punk.
The punk that tried to flirt with me and Addie, I don't even know how long it's been.
A day.
It's fine.
Good God.
It's been a day.
What?
I decked him in the face. He's done.
I will
He
say,
doesn't listen.
whenever he mentions that, in a sense, you can kind of sense that Medora almost softens up a little bit. Where she's like, okay, hold on. What did you see with Garth? And was the butler there? Because
Harold?
Yeah, where's
Oh.
Harold?
yeah, Harold.
Harold's a real one.
Harold's a real G. My guy
Day one.
Harold.
Yes, Harold was there with Garth. And I'll just say that Garth clearly had very mixed emotions on his father's passing. He wasn't there at the burial. But I did see and speak with him afterwards. And I could, no offense, but you guys very clearly do not like Matt Fay Sr. And so I'm not condoning this man at all. I don't know him. I don't know his actions, whether good or bad. But I am just trying to protect the privacy of his son.
No offense. But you know nothing about anything that's been happening. You don't know his son. You don't know his family. You certainly don't know Matt Bay. So stop acting like you do. And back off.
What,
Got it?
So what happens now is what I'm wondering.
Where's Talith? That's what
But
happens.
first-
Where's Talith?
That's a good question. Where is Talith?
That's a good question. But
You guys know where I am.
Talith is still at the Rebel Bar.
But
Oh yeah, Addie doesn't know.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But I look at Odin and I go, Medora. My name's Medora. And yes,
Pleasure to meet you, Medora.
of course. And yes, I'm from Jameer. You've answered my questions. If you have any questions for me that you'd like, let me know.
I appreciate that. I realize that my questioning was misplaced, and I apologize. And if I
No,
do,
it's
I
fine.
will be sure to reach out.
If you have questions
Um,
about what I saw, just ask at a later time.
No. No
Understood.
offense. I don't have any questions.
Good answer. Good answer.
I mean, well, honestly, I'd be curious as to. Never mind. That's
All
different
right,
Um,
let's.
so, we okay? Do I need to leave? I do not want to overstay my welcome. If you'd want, I'd love to finish my cup of tea, and that'd be lovely. I don't normally get to sit with people while drinking, so this is honestly kind of a little treat for me.
What happens now? You took care of, the body. You had that impulse. You did. It sounds like you did your job here. Will you just be going and running off to the next thing? Do you just kind of go along in the wind and you go and you bury people and you do all that, or what's next for you? Is there more you have to do here? Are there more people you're gonna bury?
I'm not usually aware of if my burial services will be needed on a day-to-day basis. Obviously, people die every day, but whether or not I am there and present for that changes from day to day. And there is, thankfully, a number of external factors beyond my services that do help protect the soul. So it's not solely on me and my brethren. But I tend to wander quite a bit. I do have a small business that I run at a little inn. So I try to be there when I can, but I also have duties to perform, and it's not uncommon for other services of mine to be necessary on various sectors. So I tend to just wander around.
Oda, you would know that even your presence in a location will naturally draw the lingering spirits of the world to you and will kind of automatically be guided. Most often, the ones that you are drawn to are those that are very powerful or either very good or very evil spirits. That would be either highly valued on like a demonic market or dangerous to leave there. A lot of it is ensuring that if a person has died who was truly good, then they go to a good place. And if a person who has died who was truly evil, they go to a bad place. Gotcha. Whoever is most fitting for those. So it doesn't necessarily, it isn't like you only get drawn to the good ones or the bad ones.
Gotcha. Thank you for that clarification.
I see.
But yeah, so I do wander quite a bit. I don't know what my next steps were. I was going to kind of think about that a little bit this afternoon.
Okay. One moment. I turn my back.
I politely turn away once again.
We huddle a little bit. Okay. Hear me out. Here is a death priest. Here, in this place, where apparently the rebellion is still cooking. Now, death priests, as it sounds, are attracted to sort of important figures that maybe whose souls are worth something. In this case, those important figures might be the powers that be in this place, who are the very people who won against the rebellion. Are you picking up what I'm putting down? What if this is an omen? What if the rebellion is going to make moves? What if strong pieces on the board are about to fall to pawns? I would like, if you two are okay with it, well, I might do this either way. I would like to keep an eye on this death priest and maybe keep close tabs on him. I don't know if you two would be open to keeping him near us, but I could maybe see an advantage to that. Maybe he has insight on what's going to happen. Maybe he has visions we don't know. This could be, well, a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. And he kind of looks at Addie and Medora in a way where he's inferring that maybe this is a chance that he has to make a difference again.
I don't like followers of the shepherd.
Oh.
Actually really dislike them. However, given how uncommon it is to find one, I would rather keep them close at hand and in sight than to lose track. At least for now. But the second something goes south, my knife will be in his back before he can blink. Got it?
Okay. Yeah, and whatever the consequences of that may be, that falls on you. As long as we have that clear, because I don't quite know what would happen. Sounds good. Now, Medora, I understand that you were the one that saw something. So I would trust your intuition. What do you think? Should we keep him around?
I I have a lot of information that I know of when it comes to the shepherd. And with this priest in general, there's just a spirit or something that's on him that makes me more curious about him. Where I think, even though with his title or what he does, his personality and how he is overall is the opposite. So I think I do agree with Addie where it'd be good to keep a good eye on him. If he wants to even be with the group, we will be there at a distance first. I will still keep a heavy eye on him because there's just something too joyous, too positive that's attached to him for what he does. That I think is quite odd. But we are all odd in this group. And our oddities help us stronger. Help us not stronger, help us be stronger. So I agree. Let's keep an eye on him.
So let's invite him to come along, but we won't share as much as we can. We won't share our intentions. I don't want him to really know too much about the rebellion, but also if he has visions or if he can help, then, well, that's a bridge we'll have to cross later. So let's invite him to come along. We can keep an eye on him. And if it goes south, we just say goodbye. How about that?
Say goodbye pretty easily.
Okay. We all turn towards Oda.
So,
The sharks have made a decision.
yeah, exactly.
10% of the company.
So, how would you like to tag along with us for a time if you don't have anywhere else to go?
Oh, that might be the first time someone's offered that to me.
Really?
Well, the fact that you even debated on if I should wander around with you guys shows a level of character that is pretty uncommon when people learn what it is that I do. I would love that, honestly. I'd be very curious to see what we can get up to and where we can help.
Okay, but a few ground rules, and I'm sure you two have some boundaries you'd like to set as well. We won't be sharing rooms.
That's fine.
And
I snore anyway. It's more of a benefit for you for me to not be in the same room.
okay, that's very thoughtful of you. And there are some things that we're handling that aren't really public. So there might just be a few things here and there that we don't share with you. Don't take it personally. It's just, for our own safety.
Fine, discretion is something I completely understand.
Is there anything you two would like to add to this agreement?
Addie, do you want to go first?
No.
Well, I think I could possibly speak on the side of Addie. We don't like what you do. We don't like who you stand for. But we understand that you are a kind person. So all that we ask is you get respect, we get it back.
Absolutely.
Good decision. Good talk. Good talk. Good talk. And I just chugged the rest of my tea.
Just slurp that puppy down.
Add a little bit of I add some shrooms.
Assuming
Oda's
that,
expression is awesome. It's like a okay, I'm sorry. Okay, whatever you want. I'm sorry.
I want you guys to know Oda feels really bad for being here because he knows that he's the problem,
Oh. Yeah.
Assuming that once you guys get done, you're heading to the Heart and Scales.
Yeah.
To meet back up with Talith, who's been sitting patiently for 2 hours.
We let Addie know that that's where Talith is at. We don't disclose that it's where the rebellion is for the sake of Oda, but Leslie does offer Oda a little handshake, inviting him into the group. I imagine that
Addie's
Medora and Addie don't.
Absolutely. Oda, as you shake Leslie's hand, excuse me. Yeah, Oda, as you shake Leslie's hand, over his shoulder, you see Medora and Addie start to head towards the door. Brushing past you out of the corner of your eye, you see a shock of red hair that flows in an ever-blowing wind as almost skipping up to stand next to Addie. You see just the barest shimmering figure of your Adeline. And the two of them walk out the door together.
Leslie, you watch as like my eyes follow them for a second, go distant for just a second, before I kind of come back to the present. Sorry. Listen, I just want to thank you for your sympathy earlier. And I'm really not here to cause any problems. If my presence here is unwelcome, then I understand and I can move on.
I believe you. I know that I think you don't intend to cause any problems, but also, unfortunately, death sometimes it can become a problem. So please understand that if anything does happen to go wrong and this doesn't work out well, I won't hold it against you.
Mm-hmm. I must also ask, do I know you from somewhere?
We start walking behind them.
Absolutely.
No, probably not. I mean, I'm from Nico Muris. I had a cabin. I had a horse named Bessie.
Wow.
Well, right. Yeah, that's not, yeah, that's where it came from. I was on the dream train actually, and I'm traveling with these folks, yeah, from Nico Muris, yeah. Well, I am. I don't know about them. Anyway.
I love Leslie constantly revealing information on accident.
It's really funny because before then he was like, let's not tell them a lot about us.
We can't tell them anything about us.
Keep it all a secret.
Back when I was it all started, I was born at a young age, and
I'll tactfully prevent any prying on my end into Leslie, who clearly can't keep a secret.
Absolutely. You won't need to pry. He'll just tell you.
I'm just going to shut up so he doesn't tell me anything.
As you guys are heading towards the hardened scales, Talith.
Yes.
You've probably caught bits and pieces of this as you've been looking through Melody's eyes.
Yeah, popping in occasionally.
You know that they've picked up a straggler who are they are now bringing along with them. You know general bits. You know what he looks like. Heard a bit of his conversation. You know that he's a cleric of the got a death and whatnot.
Okay.
What have you been doing?
Yeah. So
while everyone else has been palling around and sleeping in the garbage.
Basically, between checking in through Melody to make sure, like, one, that like Medora and Leslie both made it like past the guards and to the inn, and then they picked up a straggler, all this stuff. So like kind of between checking in occasionally, he has just been sitting with this young girl, basically, and just repeatedly trying his best. What?
I can just like picture you like sitting across from this child. Being
she's unconscious laying on a table.
Oh, I thought she was there. You guys were like trying to like entertain her.
No,
I could totally see Talith being the type of guy be like, so you want like a shot of something or something like I don't know. Like, it's a kid. Like I don't know what to do with it.
So basically repeatedly trying to just look into her mind and glean anything helpful, anything about whatever this poison is, how it was made, how it was given to her, where perhaps any of the other kids are that have been kidnapped. Basically anything that could be remotely helpful. He's just been repeatedly kind of like diving in to this sea. Yeah. And so I imagine that by the time that the camera pans to him, he's just coming out of one of those memories, and he's panting heavily as his features are kind of in that more elongated vampiric state, with like this like just raw sense of fury just emanating off of him as he just becomes more and more frustrated the more he learns about what this girl has been through.
Good guy, Tal.
Damn it. And he'll just kind of stand up and just start to like pace the room a little bit and like fervently flipping through like notes that he's been taking and comparing with like the documents that Medora recovered before he eventually kind of tries to compose himself a little bit.
Captain Silvers is sitting at the end of one of the tables.
Yeah.
Just with a mug of something. He takes a sip and looks at you.
He sits down, and eventually his features kind of go back to normal. The glowing green arcana from his neck begins to dissipate slowly. Just figure this out.
There's something I can help you with, boy.
Oh, sorry. Just trying to.
Your face was looking a little like there were bones where there shouldn't be bones type of face.
Yeah, sorry, I get like that sometimes. Just try to find some answers. He'll look back at the girl and still speaking to Captain Silvers, he'll say, you know, Captain, I'm actually a bit surprised about you, actually. I thought that perhaps that Captain Silvers had lost all of his luster and would need a little more polish before he was willing to jump back into a fray. Why are you so willing to help?
persuasion check.
Sure.
Nice sentence there, Drew. Lost all his luster.
Bro, I have been sitting on that for a month. All right, a persuasion check, DM?
Yeah.
That would be a 21.
He looks at you, and kind of eyes you up and down. In some regards, you think that he sees you as somewhat of a kindred soul.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Both of you are sneaky and good with words. Willing to do sometimes not so great things.
Yeah.
And you know, pretty self-driven towards your own goals.
Yeah.
And he looks at you and he says, "Truth be told, Talith, is it? Sometimes I'm not quite all there anymore." Oh, we lost him. DJ will be back momentarily. Anymore, time. It's getting to me. I was not a young man when the rebellion first started up. And, this poison. Sometimes I don't know if what I remember is quite what all happened. Sometimes I don't feel quite myself anymore. But one thing that I do remember is the feeling of sailing, of being Captain Silvers. And if there's a chance for me to step aboard a ship once more, to step behind a helm, to be Captain Silvers again, maybe I'll remember better. I'll remember more of who I am, what's all going on. I'll be in a clearer state of mind. Or at least I'll die being someone who I feel is who I'm supposed to be.
Are you hoping that you can get a bit of this possible cure yourself? Or are you just looking for one last hurrah?
If I'm being honest with you, Boyle, I don't think I have many thoughts towards what lies ahead of me. I don't know if curing me is even real, a possibility. Even if it is, I'm an old man. I've probably lived far more than my life is worth. Now, I wouldn't turn down a cure, none. I wouldn't, I'm not looking to die, by any means. Not now that I've found that there's potential of doing something that might make up for the mistakes that I've made. Or at least atone for some of them. But whatever the future brings, as long as I have a ship beneath my feet, I'll be in a better place than I am now. Besides, the rest of you seem like kind of a bit wet behind the ears still. Could use an old sea dog like me.
Well, I've certainly never sailed before.
That does not surprise me in the slightest. You look like you have arms made of twigs. You got land legs. Never carried a barrel.
No, I was always into books.
Ah, good reading. I had dreams of being a teacher once, back when I was a young lad. Went to school for it and everything, come to think of it. I was a learned man. Make an insight check.
I hope he's just lying.
21.
You think that he's telling the truth?
Nice.
Yeah. I taught K-12 for a year. The kids are monsters. Children are terrible, terrible creatures. And let me tell you, if I had a choice between staring down the eyes of a cannon, a barrel of one loaded, ready to fire, with nothing but me sword and me one good leg, I'd take it over teaching a class of 10, 8-year-olds. They're monsters. I do miss teaching a bit, though. Reading was nice.
Actually, I'm curious. In your travels and in your well-learned mind, what do you know about the other planes?
Well, I'll tell you, I myself haven't been traveling too much other than the material. I tend to stick amidst the outer sectors, traveling in the material plane. The only plane that I know a fair bit about is the far beyond, the murk. Captain Leslie, actually, used it quite a few times to escape me. He'd sail into the, into the great darkness that leaches onto reality, to escape and appear farther than where we could catch him. And so I did a fair amount of research trying to figure out how to traverse the murk myself. But as for traveling to other planes, no, there's no real reason to teach kindergartners about the 9 hells unless you're in church. And I may be a learned man, but I'm not a religious one by any means.
Well, fair
the only
enough.
cloth that I care about is the flag that hangs atop my mast.
Amen.
And if Captain Silvers was to survive another day, would the allure of a new frontier be tempting?
I'll be honest. The most that I know about Captain Leslie is the things that I've heard in tales and legends and people talking about him during the time of the rebellion, as well as what I've gleaned from hunting and trying to kill him. As for who he is as a man,
Well, no, I'm sorry. I don't care about Leslie.
Oh, you're talking about me! Whether I would be interested in new frontiers.
Aye.
Sorry, misheard. Every once in a while. My ears aren't quite what they used to be. My eyes are keen, but my ears, well, everything goes with age. If you've got a ship for me, I'll sail it anywhere you'd like.
I might just take you up on that.
Boy, I knew
Please tell me that Talis just hires him for his shipment company, and so he just becomes the equivalent of a trucker for Talis, but he's a
trucker. Captain Silvers is a vibe,
dude.
Hey, here you go. Here be your package.
The new frontier is just deliveries.
Niner, the Modrons have set up a speed trap on 9. At this point in time, the rest of the people, the rest of your group will descend down the stairs, 4 pairs of footsteps. I'll cut through. They're being technically 5. They're being led by Mr. the Destroyer.
Yes,
Mr. the Destroyer.
I see Leslie has a hand.
No, I was just thinking. I was gonna consult just really quick. Addy, Medora, are we cool with letting Mr. Death down here with us?
We have no other options.
Okay, sounds good to me.
I'd
Fantastic.
rather
Before
him
we
be
go
in
down,
my
though-
sight than him be up there. So
Before we go down there, it's like what happens down in this basement stays in this basement. Do you understand?
I understand.
Fantastic. Let's do this. For the most part, I feel like I trust this guy. Like, he's not from here anyways.
This guy.
Yeah, it'll be fine. He's got no,
Yeah, okay.
he's got no bones in the game.
We descend the stairs with Mr. Destroyer.
Addie
Absolutely.
makes a beeline straight for the girl.
100%. She is still lying there where you left her. It appears that Captain Silvers has done exactly as he said he would and taken care of her to the best of his abilities. Honestly, the guy's kind of growing on you. He's been incredibly trustworthy as far as you've known him for the 2 minutes you talked to him. Yes,
So,
Oda?
Oda?
I mean, there's an unconscious
touch her.
child on the
Do
floor.
Not
Oda clocks it.
touch her.
Not gonna touch. I would just like to casually, inconspicuously make a once over myself. Just kind of like.
Yeah,
good,
make
good,
a medicine check with disadvantage because you're not close enough to really do a good examination.
This is why you should be allowed close to your patients.
I can't make the DM flipping through all the books he owns joke anymore.
You can make the joke about me flipping through all the pages of Oda's notebook, because there's a lot of them. That's an 8. Oh wait,
An
with
8.
disadvantage, it could be worse. Oh no, that was better. Yeah, an 8.
Okay. With an 8, her breathing seems steady. You don't hear any sound of respiratory problems. You know that she would have a pulse if she's breathing, theoretically.
Okay.
You don't see any particular wounds other than there's a slight bruise on her arm where it appears as though someone like grabbed her to like prevent
like
her
that.
arm.
Yeah.
It was Addie. But other than that, she seems to be in relatively good health, although somewhat comatose. You do not see evidence of REM sleep. You don't see her eyes moving beneath her eyelids, which is relatively unnatural, but not like life-threatening by any means.
I'm just gonna put this out there. I am a licensed doctor. I
No.
would be happy to help with anything. Putting it out there, I understand you're very protective of her. I know it's just a little bruise in her arm. I could help out with that. I'm just saying.
just,
But I'll just be over here if you need me.
yeah, just stay over there. Just don't talk.
Why don't you introduce yourself?
Oh, hello. My name is Oda. Oda Amana. And
He's sticking with us. I cut him off before he can say it. He's sticking with us for the time being.
Poor Oda.
And I just, well, I also nodded at him. 'Cause, like,
right.
I don't want to complicate things down here in this basement with these people.
No, because I feel like I'm like looking at Oda and I'm like, don't talk, don't speak. And then Leslie goes, why don't you introduce yourself? And I go,
Yeah, I also don't know what Talith will think of this. You know, what if Talith has a vendetta against this guy? Who knows?
Well, okay, I'll say this. Talith is, generally speaking, a pretty hard person to read, so you don't know for sure how he feels about this person. But he has, similar to Addie, like stood in front of the girl and just like not maybe as aggressive as Addie, but still very protective of the girl as Oda comes in.
Yes, Oda.
Can I make a little insight check at Talith to see if I recognize this from Bearcat?
Yeah, absolutely. Roll a wisdom check. Not insight specifically, just a wisdom for me.
Yo, dude.
Okay,
What's up?
that's a 19.
19. Weirdly, you cannot tell that he is from Vadakesh. You don't know where he would be from.
Dang it! Connection point gone.
You do notice. I will state. When you say your name, Oda Amana, Captain Silvers visibly recognizes you. All of you notice that Captain Silvers is aware of the name Oda Amana.
Okay, so Leslie, Medora, did you catch Addie up to speed as to what the plan is for trying to help the girl?
We did not get to that point yet.
Yeah,
Oh,
we were kind of caught up in other stuff that was
I
happening.
I caught bits and pieces of that conversation. Okay, well, great. I haven't been able to learn anything helpful, which is very frustrating. However, it does seem that she's stable and she hasn't gotten any worse since you guys left, which is great. Meanwhile, Silvers and I, well, I think we've determined that he's willing to help us see this endeavor through to the end. Oda, right? You're the cleric of the Temple of the Last Words, or whatever you said.
That was surprisingly accurate. Yes.
Okay, great. So I again picked up bits and pieces of the conversation. I don't have any issue with you in particular. Please just. We're gonna do our best to help.
Problems.
Okay, great. That's all I needed to hear.
Well, this is going
Are we all
nicely.
ready to go?
Sorry, I should raise a hand.
Go ahead, Medora.
While they're talking, can I do a perception check on Captain Silvers, like how he's like
Silvers.
Captain Silvers, while he's like kind of seeing like how he's now within. I'm trying to word it correctly. Basically, like how he's like now reacted at post him now hearing Oda's name. Like, how is he currently acting?
You don't even need an insight check for this. It is pretty clear. There's a lot of different vibes that Captain Silvers is giving off. He's like listening to what you guys are saying, but he definitely he'll be like,
I lock eyes with Captain Silvers.
Yeah,
and just
Captain Silvers looks at you.
Lit.
and he looks at Oda, and he gives a look at you as though he now recognizes that you know who Oda is. He's like, Captain Silvers is a tricky man. But it's been a while since he's really had to conceal anything from anyone. And can you roll an intimidation check for me?
Yes, I would
Yes.
love to.
Awesome.
I get to add my strength bonus, right? This is a strength-based.
Yeah, I will absolutely allow you to use a strength intimidation check. I'll also give it to you with advantage. Mainly because you showed up here last night carrying the unconscious body of a girl and have probably already threatened him very successfully.
Oh, nice. Nice.
20. That's my intimidation.
Oh my god.
Captain Silvers pees himself.
I would like to believe that Addie is still holding the frying pan. Like you still have the frying pan with you. And he's looking at you, he looks at Oda, he looks at you, he looks at Oda, he looks back at you, and you hold up the frying pan and set it down, and you have left finger indentations in the wrought iron handle of the frying pan. And he looks at that, he looks at you, and you see him immediately go straight-faced, cold turkey, zero emotion. He's never met Oda a day. He doesn't know a thing. Oda, never heard of him. He didn't even hear Oda say his name, actually. He seems completely attentive. Also, Medora, you witnessed this entire thing. You see this whole thing occur.
Do I know Captain Silvers, or has he just heard of me?
Captain Silvers knows the name Oda Amana somehow.
Gotcha. I had another question then. While the intimidation check is going on, can I take a little bit of a closer look at the girl? And I'm just curious if a lesser restoration would help her at all.
Can you roll just a stealth check to see if you can get close enough while they're having a stare down over the table?
If you fail,
Like
I will
Addie's-
take the cast iron skillet and whack it around over to you.
Addie stares at Captain Silvers. Oda just sneaks behind Addie to get a closer look at the girl. It's
That's a
great.
19.
What's your passive perception, Addie? I should say,
Oh,
because
it's
you're the
like
one that
an
matters.
11.
Okay,
It's an 11.
you get close enough. Yeah.
DM.
Uh-huh.
Theoretically speaking,
There's also talent there.
I am on the opposite side of the girl.
Oh yeah, you're also kind of guarding her.
So if he's avoiding the gaze of Addie, would he then be in clear sight of me?
You are in conversation. Roll just a perception check because you did mention that you were like kind of standing guard.
Okay, and then if he succeeds, I have something I'd like to do before you decide what happens.
Back to back.
Everyone is doing quick time actions. That would be a 19 DM.
Meets it, beats it. You do see Oda heading there. Yes, Leslie.
Now, can I roll a persuasion check on Talith? Where I can motion like, let it happen, buddy.
He's chill.
Like, just don't say anything. He's chill.
I'm gonna tell you this. That's not necessary, but it's a great thought.
Absolutely. You see Oda creeping. Oda, you lock eyes with. There's a lot of locking eyes in this scene. You lock eyes.
I'm not like sneaking. I'm just gonna
lock eyes with Leslie, and Leslie's like.
So as he won't move at all, but he will send a message to Oda.
Heck yeah. Talk to me, baby.
And he'll say, she has a rare poison. If you can't help, don't touch.
Two things. Can you still hear me?
Yes.
You would hear the message back. Do you respond?
Oh yeah, I say yeah. I just say yeah.
Oh, okay. Discord cut it out. That's
I'm sorry. I must have said it too quietly. I apologize.
Discord got us.
Drew's like, yeah, I said something. What's going on?
Obviously, you idiot. Why are you just staring at me?
It's in your head, bro. Come on.
Talith is just messing with him. He doesn't respond.
If it's a poison, then I should be able to alleviate her pain.
DM, if I recall from the notes,
prefer sanctuary from the violent one. If I do this, though,
no, hold on. As you say that,
from the violent one.
As you say that, again, responding, he'll hold up a hand to signal for you to stop for a moment. DM, we didn't get a name of this poison from the notes, right? We just know that's made of quicksilver and some other chemicals, right?
Yeah, it is quicksteel mixed in with a number of other things and something called divinity.
Okay.
Like divinity.
He'll send another message and say, what do you know about poisons that are mixed with quicksteel and a substance called divinity?
Hey, DM.
Yeah, roll a medicine check for me.
Oh, what was that?
Roll a medicine check for me.
Oda locks eyes with the DM.
Oda looks up. Let me give a quick prayer. 18 plus 5, 23.
Quicksteel is very new. You know that it has a lot of applications. You've never heard of someone being poisoned by quicksteel, but you know that it is very similar to mercury, aka quicksilver. So you would assume that there are heavy metal elements that are very difficult to ascertain on first glance. That's a very slow and silent killer. It like makes you bleed from the inside and then you die real suddenly. Then again, quicksteel may have different properties. You know that it's not normally as toxic as quicksilver would be, to your knowledge. Okay. You've never heard of divinity as a
ingredient,
as a mixer,
yeah, exactly. Okay,
you've heard of the word divinity, obviously, but you don't know what specifically that would be.
I got you. Talith, you'll hear me respond. On an intellectual basis, I know little, but my faith is strong.
Oh.
And at this point,
by
Oda
the power
will
of
kneel.
God who gives me strength.
Oda will kneel down, and he's gonna take a second. He's gonna cast Lesser Restoration and hope that he doesn't get clocked with the frying pan.
Fantastic.
Oh my God!
He is brave. Could you also roll? I assume you can do a real quick examination now that you're able to like actually get within viewing distance. That's not like across a room. Roll just a medicine check for me. Flat. No advantage, no disadvantage.
That would be another 23, another 18.
Another 23, another 18. You cast the Lesser Restoration spell. You do notice her breathing steadies. It was a little bit erratic. You think that you probably lessened some ailments. The bruising on her arm fades so that it is hardly a memory.
No evidence.
With your medicine check, I will sense it was above a 20. A 20 was the DC that we were looking for. I will allow you to make a this is my problem with 5th edition. It needs more weird abilities or less abilities overall. Can I have you make a religion check with your wisdom? Is religion normally intelligence, guys?
Yeah, you're spot on, DM.
Yeah, roll a wisdom religion check.
I am in love with you.
I'm here for you. Your confession is received.
Nice.
I love when you crack up, Jar Jar. It's awesome.
And I'm proficient at where's my proficiency bonus +2, so it's a +7.
70.
That is a 20 flat.
20 flat. You notice off of your medicine check that the ailment that she is suffering is due to some form of physical regent. Like there has been a poison that is in her. You can see through one of her cracked eyelids that like silvery liquid filling her pupil, which you have never seen as a symptom before.
Don't like that.
What you notice upon a quick yet thorough examination, sending your magic through her body with lesser restoration, is that you get the same feeling that you get when you long ago defeated a lich. Her body resembles a phylactery.
As soon as the magic is done and his hand is like resting on her like leg or something, I have no idea.
It's just like he pokes her like forehead.
Talith will quickly grab it and move it away from the girl.
Mm-hmm.
My hand.
Yes.
And like tuck it away and hide it basically.
Thanks.
And then again, in his head, he would hear, "If you've learned anything, wait to share it."
Yes, Leslie. Sorry, I had to type real quick.
Does okay, right?
Leslie's paying attention to this, isn't he?
Intimidation is happening.
Leslie's seen some stuff.
The pan. I can see everything. I'm also surveying, right?
Mm-hmm.
How long does intimidation take, and does it take as long as lesser restoration is taking?
This all happens.
That is what I'm wondering.
Within like 6 to 12 seconds.
Okay, great. So I don't have to do any damage.
They're like staring at each other, and like you see like Addie grab her frying pan. Oda moves in close. There's like that awkward try conversation between you, Talith, and Oda. Oda casts a spell. Addie sets the frying pan down, and then Talith quickly shoos him away.
And as that's happening, I'll just chime in just to make sure. I'll just be like, "All right then. Why did I just go Edward? All right then. All righty then. All right then. So, if the girl's all right and we have a safe place for her, then that means that we can get on a ship soon, right?
I would like to take the girl
Today?
with us.
I suppose.
Not that my opinion matters, but I concur.
Okay.
Now, do we have a way of moving her at all, really? Like, does anyone have like a stretcher or or like a?
I go to point at Addie and then I tuck my hand away.
There are stretchers in the room down below. They're part of supplies for the rebellion, but I'm sure that they wouldn't mind as long as you paid for it.
Okay, great.
If anybody's paying attention, you'd notice that Oda's eyes flicker when you guys mention the rebellion.
Oh, interesting. Now, I don't think I would notice, but Grant is intrigued.
I would probably notice that.
Addie would be watching him.
Oh, Addie's eyes like a hawk.
Always watching.
Always watching.
Now, two questions then.
Are you gonna cut Wesley off?
Do we want to?
Because you can if you want.
Do we want to use the stretcher, or if we're trying to get out of town under the radar still, I can make her invisible for a limited amount of time. That would probably make it.
How limited do we have?
An hour. Well,
An hour?
actually, correction.
That would be perfect.
Correction. If need be, I could extend it beyond that, but ideally an hour.
An hour should be enough time, right?
That answers my question. I mean, I was worried that bringing a stretcher in would complicate, of course, sneaking onto a ship so we can escape with nobody knowing. We can explain later, he says to Oda, and then turns back to the group. If we can make her invisible, then I think that would make it a little easier. It's just really hard to explain that
now, DM,
if somebody were to come across us.
DM, here's the question.
Yeah.
We couldn't, like, I could make her invisible, and then, like, Addie could carry her, right?
Yeah.
But, like, we couldn't, well, I mean, that should be fine, because Addie should be strong enough to carry her just fine on her own, right?
Addie's jacked as hell.
Yeah, okay. Okay, well, then,
I agree.
Then, as a backup, we'll grab one of the stretchers just in case something happens that we need it.
You never know when you'll need a stretcher,
I am making sure to grab all of this, the C4 or dynamite or whatever it is that Mr. the Destroyer was trying to give me before.
Yeah, absolutely. You gather the supplies that you need, pay whatever you need for the stretcher. It's not a lot. It's basically just 2 long sticks and some fabric. Pack all that up. You would know specifically. I see Medora doing hand movements.
Yes,
casting spells.
I'm trying to see if this would actually work because I'm not gonna lie, I'm still kind of used to druid cantrips. For druid craft, I know it's like small things, but I know it can also be smells.
Yeah, absolutely.
I would like to see if I could cast druid craft on the girl before she goes invisible with like just like a general like floral smell or something that is a more common smell
that way,
around.
If you guys like drop her, you can still find her.
Either that or like if there's like possibly somebody looking for her, where if she has a possibly faint smell that maybe per se bloodhounds can smell, it's then like covered by that. And I think it said like for like a long time that spell could be on there. So
that's smart. Super rad.
I'm thinking.
That's absolutely something you can do.
We're playing checkers over here, and meanwhile Medora's playing chess.
Yeah,
100%.
Nah, I am a chef in Hell's Kitchen right now. I am cooking. Okay.
Gordon Ramsay is present. Also, Gordon Ramsay is canonically a character in this world. He's a satyr.
He's a satyr.
Yeah, he's a vegan chef. He's great. You guys have met him in one of the previous one shots. Grant, you cooked for him.
Oh yeah, I did.
It was a great time.
I don't remember if I won.
Anyway, you guys gather all together. You get your gosh dang garbage together. You're ready to go. Leslie, you know the location of where the like garbage ships would be. I'm assuming that you're going to lead them there since you know these streets the best.
Well, I was actually assuming Leslie will turn to Captain Silvers.
Ooh, Captain Silvers is here. Yeah, I kind of forgot about him. I'm not gonna lie.
And say, this feels very strange and a bit against my operating system, if you may. But I'm going to have to put my trust in you, Captain Silvers. You know these parts better than us. I don't know exactly where to go, who to talk to, how to get into one of these things. So if you lead the way, we'll follow.
I appreciate your trust in me, lad. I'll do my best to serve as a guide, best I can. I don't have many surviving contacts, and maybe it's been a little while since I've really wandered the land above, below that blue sky. But I'll do my best. Alrighty then, the rest of you lot, and he who shall not be named.
He looks at Oda.
Oda looks offended,
and then he looks back at Addie and gives you a thumbs up.
He says, "It's time to begin our mission. I shall lead you."
All right. You don't have to lay it on thick.
Oh,
Let's just
really?
get
I
this
thought
done.
this is not the time for a speech yet.
Oh, well, I suppose. Yeah, a
No,
little.
I understand.
pep in
I'll
our
save it
step.
for later. Let's get going, I suppose.
And he just begins to like limp up the stairs on his peg leg.
I'm
Two
gonna
things.
lean over to Talith.
First,
sorry.
that's gonna happen first. Yep, go for it.
Oh, okay. Would you mind telling me what we're doing?
Yeah, he does not know. Awesome.
Do any of us really know?
He'll say in like a whisper. I'll explain on the way. And
Thank you, my child.
as they're getting ready to leave the inn, two things. He's gonna come over to Addie, who's now holding the girl, just before they basically step outside. And he'll kind of pause a moment before turning her invisible, and he'll mentally say to her, "Did you actually get it done?"
Shallow grave that our new friend dug up 5 hours later.
And he'll place a hand.
Graves are important people.
He'll place a hand, kind of on the forehead of the girl as if he's checking for a fever, and then she will disappear in her arms. And then he'll walk out the door, and will tell Melody to kind of fly high, and she'll basically provide the help action for us to try and navigate the city quickly and quietly.
Absolutely.
Talith.
Oh.
You're clearly like an arcane user. Addie has her arms out like this to hold the child, and you can't see
I'm
anything.
gonna
I don't know if
toss her behind, like over my shoulder.
Yeah, I kind of assume got like a fireman
ground.
carry where you just have to
Yeah.
hold your hand here with like an arm and a leg.
And it's gonna be like over a backpack, so I'm already gonna be holding
Yeah,
like a backpack.
like a shawl.
Yeah.
I'll perfect.
I like that. Oda leans in to give a suggestion to Talith. Addie, like at that same time, switches arms. She's done this before, and then he's like, "Never mind. Clearly, this happens. Clearly, she knows what she's doing." That's great. I want so badly, by the way, for Oda to have to get on the ship without knowing what's happening, and then just showing up to the edge. We're smuggling this child.
You have a bag of bombs.
It's so good. We have a bag of bombs and a child.
We have.
It's so
God,
good.
I love it.
Let's just say we have a lot of contraband right now.
Yeah, if you guys are caught, it is not going to look good. You've got an unconscious child that you kidnapped and turned invisible, a bag of bombs, clear rebel affiliations, the leader of the Rebel Alliance who they thought was dead. Like it's
the
a
Prince
bad
of
look.
Death himself, like Oda Armana.
I thought he was the Doctor of Death.
I just
not
went
a lot
with
of
Prince of
names,
Death.
you know?
I thought it sounded cool.
All the five of you plus the girl and then plus Captain Silvers will follow his lead out of the building. The streets are still filled with guards. Soldiers are patrolling. A very influential man has died, and they are currently on the look for his killer. You pick up the fact that yes, they do know that Maffei is dead now. It has been released to the public. There's a guy on this, a kid on the street, a little newsie going, extra, extra, Maffei dead in the night, killed, murdered, dead, yelling and handing out papers to people. I've rolled with the help action for Captain Silvers to navigate you through these back streets. Look, he is an old man. He's not quite got it all together all the time.
Oh, no.
But with age comes wisdom and experience. And this is certainly not the first time that Captain Silvers has had to dodge police in a crowded area on land. You were a little afraid because he seemed like more of like a boat guy, but he is hobbling ridiculously smoothly through these crowds, leading you down alleys that you didn't even see, all the way to the trash disposal facility, which is relatively off to the side, kind of it's in its own area, far from civilians. And the farther you get away from the civilian areas, the less people you have for cover, but also less guards that are present. He navigates all the way there, managing to keep you out of the eyes of the patrols. Not Lizzie.
I apologize. When we
Talith.
picked up supplies, could we have said that we? Well, did Mr. the Destroyer have any more of those sleeping potions that we picked up last time?
I believe there was one left in stock. So okay. Garwick would be willing to sell you that last one.
Okay, I'm going to say that we picked that up.
Fantastic.
Good thinking.
As you mentioned it is important to recognize. You're not sure exactly why. The sleeping potion should have worn off on the girl by now.
Oh, okay.
But she has not yet woken up, which you are unsure as to why. But you're pretty thankful for it because you're in the middle of a covert stealth operation, and it would be really unfortunate if like a kidnapped girl woke up and started trying to stab someone.
Yeah. We'll roll with the punches.
And she's
we'll
invisible. She would have advantage. It's terrifying.
Wakes up while invisible and just like gets loose. We're like, oh god.
There is a moment when you guys enter the kind of garbage facility where one of the patrolling workers does like catch movement and come around a corner, and Captain Silvers holds up a hand and like, I got this. And he walks around the corner and has a brief conversation with the guy. You catch bits and pieces of it where he's basically like, hey man, how's it going? And the guy's like, you don't have on a safety jacket. Do you work here? And he goes, no. Do you get paid enough to care? And the guy goes, that's a fair point, and just leaves.
Awesome. Let's go, Captain Silvers.
Not my circus, not my monkeys.
Absolutely. And so Captain Silvers comes back around the corner and he's like, I don't know a thing about any garbage disposal, but I've met quite a few blue-collar workers, and he didn't look like management. Just a guy doing his job. And he will lead you successfully all the way to the freighter that he knows would be moving trash specifically to the edge.
We did it.
Absolutely. Easy infiltration. Specifically, it is very good that you gave him advantage because his first roll was a 1.
Yeah,
and
I was going to say
things would have been much more difficult.
Like that whole time, I like to imagine, like, you know, like with with a SWAT team, you know, like you have like the hand on like the person in front of you, like on their back as you're moving in a squad. And there's just a couple moments where he just kind of grabs Silvers as like a couple guards walk past.
Yep. His second roll was an 18, so we were in the clear there.
Let's go Silvers.
But as you all load, kind of hide yourselves into onto this trash barge, settle into your positions in hiding, making sure that you're not in the like crusher function of the barge, because that's just an accident waiting to happen. You know, that's like climbing to the back of a garbage truck and being like, I'm sure that I'll be fine. That's a bad plan for living. You guys get nestled into piles of trash to hide yourself. Leslie, you're feeling relatively nostalgic. That is where we are going to end the session today. We will pick up here next week. Thank you. First off, I want to thank all my players. I know that it is our first time back this year. I know that we are in various different living situations. Gracie, especially. Thank you so much for dragging yourself out of bed.
What time is it for you, Gracie?
Oh my goodness.
4:15 a.m.
And
yeah, that's wild.
I am so sorry, and I am so thankful that you are willing to put up with it. If at any point in time Gracie is not here, it's probably because we told Gracie to go get some sleep, and that is okay. Shout out to DJ. Thank you for being here tonight in freezing cold weather and playing your character very well for the first time, and you know, just being around with us. I have a blast. I'm very excited to see where Oda goes in the future. And to the other three, thank you for just being reliable go-getters. Thank you for being here tonight. Thank you, DM. Those viewers, the viewers out there, you guys are great. Thanks for sticking with us. We will be back next week at around 7:30 CST or whenever it is in England, like 1.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I'm so sorry. And special thanks to our Kickstarters. Keep an eye out on your emails, fill out your surveys. We will be getting your stuff to you as quickly as we can. I don't have a whole lot of other details that we need to cover tonight. So the only thing that I'm going to say is the same thing that I say every week. Good luck and Godspeed, everyone. We will see you next time, Dungeoneers. Goodbye.
Bye, everybody.
Thanks for being here. It was a blast.